Hey guys, what is up? It's your girl, Grace Torie, and I'm back with a whole new podcast episode. You guys, I'm so excited. So I fell down a new rabbit hole, found a new subreddit. Well, it's not new, but it's new to me, called r/amithedevil. And it's basically just people sharing stories about other things. Like if they see something in the wild, whether it's like from an advice subreddit or just like a random Reddit, and they're like, this person is the worst human being on the planet, they share it to that subreddit. So I fear that I've gone down the rabbit hole and I could spend hours on there. But I have found that most of the things that I have gone through and like read on there are about men. And I need a healthy dose of feminine rage today. I need to get my anger out in a healthy way. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be reading these insane takes, these insane stories from r/amithedevil that truly are just men having the audacity, because why not? So before I jump in, don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, all the things, whatever you feel like doing. It takes about 0.2 seconds and it's free and it helps the podcast grow. And without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump on in. I'm Grace Torie, and you're listening to That Girl the Podcast. Grab a beverage of choice and settle in, because the new episode is starting now. So this first one is titled, How Do I, 28 male, Get My Ex-Girlfriend, 27 female, to Forgive Me for My Past Cheating? I don't want to get back together. Hey everyone, 4 years ago I made very selfish choices that hurt my ex-girlfriend. We were together for 2 years, but at the time I didn't fully appreciate her. She was a great girlfriend, stunning, caring, attentive, etc. Her best friend was extremely attentive also. I would say more so. Okay, I guess my dog's joining us because he wants to be the center of attention. Continuing. To put it in perspective, her best friend has over 20k Instagram followers because of her looks, and my girlfriend at the time didn't have much of a social media following. She's attractive, but not an Instagram model type, if you get what I mean. That's crazy. That's an insane thing to say. When I met my girlfriend, I approached her and not her friend because I was intimidated by her friend, but always wanted the friend. I'm sorry?
Bombastic side-eye. Criminal offensive side-eye.
When I first met her, it was a lounge, and I shot my shot because she was the second hottest person in the group. That's insane. Men are crazy. The audacity, right, Luna? As Luna's a man, he is the male representative for today's episode. Well, I got the opportunity to be with her best friend, and I took the opportunity. I convinced myself it was love, but it wasn't. When she found out, she was devastated. She blocked both of us. The relationship with the other woman didn't work out, and she was using me like I was her damn piggy bank, but would cheat. After that, I dated another woman just like her and realized this is my karma. I'm blocked, but I saw her because just my luck, she moved into the same apartment complex with her now boyfriend. I used my alternate account to see her Instagram and can see she has a great boyfriend who seems to spoil her. She deserves it. I've had one conversation with him, just small talk about sports to gauge him, and he seems like a good dude. She unfortunately would try to be very intentional and not even looking at me. I don't know if she told him I'm her ex, but he doesn't seem to know. I got the courage to tell her that I apologized and asked for her forgiveness. So when I saw her today, it looked like she had just got back from the gym and trying to avoid me, but I spoke. I said, hey, and she glared at me. I said, you look nice, and she said, what do you want? I told her it looks like you have a great boyfriend, and she replied, the best, in a very cold way. I told her that I just wanted to apologize for everything and that I'm glad she's doing well, and she said, I'm doing great. Again, in a very stern and direct way. I told her that her forgiveness would mean a lot, and she said no and walked away. This really hurt me. I don't cry often, but when I entered my apartment, I cried. I want to make this right because not only is it the right thing to do, but I genuinely feel my dating life has been cursed by the universe because of what I did to her. All aspects of my life are great except my dating life. So, you want to apologize, not because you feel bad, but because you feel your dating life is cursed.
Yep.
Okay, I feel like I've heard everything I need to hear. We're moving on. This one is titled, How Long Do Quote-Unquote Breaks Last? And it is from r/Ask Men Advice and then moved over to r/Amithedevil. So, my girlfriend, female 22, and I, male 23, are on a break. It's very confusing. We lived together for almost 3 to 4 years, and we took a break recently because of the things I've done in the past, which include getting caught looking at girls online, talking to an ex, and paying for an OnlyFans video from a girl we used to go to. Yes, I know I'm a shitty guy. That was all in the span of maybe 2 to 3 years. I moved out a couple months ago, and this is the first time we have ever went on a break, followed by days without communicating, which is understandable. I would like to know from people that went through a similar situation, what was your experience, how long did it take, and how did it work out? Edit, we still talk and hang out when I'm home, but since I work a 21-day on and off rotation, there's a very small communication we have still kind of bugs me. Edit number 2, I moved out and signed a 6-month lease because we agreed this break was only temporary. So, let's talk about this. You repeatedly cheated on her throughout your entire relationship. And then when she asked for a break, you go on the break, and instead of reflecting and saying, why are we on this break, you say, how long? And a lot of people are saying breaks last forever usually, which is true. I'm wondering if she said, let's take a break because she's talked about breaking up before, and you couldn't handle it. This is crazy. Everyone's kind of clowning in the comments, but that's crazy. Just constantly, cheating on her and then being like, I don't understand why this break, how long is this gonna last? Crazy. Okay, men. Oh my god, this one is crazy. So this one is r/true off my chest, and it was moved over to r/amithedevil. And the title is, I'll effing die alone. I will never be the object of lust of a woman. A woman will never get anxious with what she should text me. A girl won't ever text me to begin with. Man, I'll effing die alone. The concept of going to parties and picking up people from the opposite gender is so alien to me. F. Okay, guys, I found this guy and I did a deep dive into his account because, what? And it's crazy. The stuff that, he's posted. So, give me 1 second to just find some more. First off, he posted that in multiple different places, so not just true off my chest. But then he also has posted some other things, he posted an r/incel exit, how to stop thinking women find me creepy. Often when I interact with women, I think they find me funny or yucky, inferior to them. I know this has more to do with my self-image than their image of me, but does anyone have tips on how to tackle this issue? I've never talked to a girl outside of small talk in my life, at least not that I remember. And then he posted a lot of things about, having a corn addiction. But I'm just, I don't know. I hate these, nice guy posts because, that's what it is a nice guy post where it's I'm so nice and girls still don't love me, but it's you're treating women like an object, she's an alien that you need to approach with caution, and it's you're just a person. We're just people, and you can't approach us that way. Also, a lot of people were trying to actually genuinely help him, and they were commenting hey, where are you going to try and meet people? And he doesn't leave the house, and he said he doesn't plan on leaving the house. But I just thought that was an insane thing to post on God's internet, so I had to share. Crazy. I this is my first time seeing nice guys in the wild type sitch, so wild. This next one is posted to r/life, but then it was moved to amithedevil, and it says, I keep getting rejected, and now I'm banned from a bar. What am I doing so wrong? I am a 26 male and am still never had any luck with women. No kisses, date, intimate moments, no nothing. Since I turned 24, I've been trying to change that, but it's gone absolutely terribly. Last year, I asked out roughly 30 women in real life. All of them rejected me, and one reported me to HR, and I got in a lot of trouble. Bear in mind, I'm not even attracted to 90% of these women, and I'm starting at the bottom with women who I find super ugly. I'm sorry? I'm sorry. And just last night, I've been banned from this bar for quote-unquote shooting my shot too many times. That was the manager's exact words, even though it was only 6 women. And Tinder has been useless. It's literally just an experience that's the issue. Sir, I don't think that that's the issue. I think you might be the issue. Almost every woman I've met has picked up on my inexperience and said they don't want to be my teacher. Even had people tell me to give up forever because I'll never possibly catch up after all these years, and how all these failed attempts have probably ruined me. I've also tried joining a fitness group, and after failing hard with a woman there, I got banned from that too. And I joined a movie group, but I was thrown out. The years before, I've been rejected about 10 times a year, so not as much as 2024, but it's still a lot. What else can I do to find a life partner? I love that he says, I want to find a life partner, but clearly he doesn't see women as, like, an equal. He sees them as, like, an object that he needs to, like, obtain. Like, I don't know what he's saying to these women, but if he's been banned from 3 different places, that's crazy. Like, sir, I'm curious to know what his angle is. Like, how, I don't want to know, but I also, like, what are you saying to these women? So here's an old Am I the Asshole that was just reposted to Am I the Devil. Am I the a-hole for not leaving my girlfriend's place when she's on her period? I already know this is going to make me angry. Title sounds bad, but there's a lot more to the story. Me and my girlfriend are both 21 in uni. I live at home, so she doesn't really come here as my mother is kind of conservative and is against her sleeping over. Okay, so as someone who is from the Bible Belt, raised conservative, I know that he probably doesn't have any knowledge of a period or how it works or how to respect women on their period because he came from a conservative family. Anyway, continue. I mostly go to her place and we have the dirty, play video games, chill, smoke weed, just hang out and have fun. My girlfriend has this habit of inviting me over and then telling me that she's on her period whenever we try to have the dirty. I'm okay with having it on one's period, but she isn't and finds it gross. I asked her numerous times to tell me before I come over just so my expectations are accurate. I'm sorry. Your expectation... You should be going over there because you want to hang out with her, and, like, that's just, like, a bonus. It's a fun little bonus. Like, you shouldn't be, like, bummed out because, like, that's not gonna happen. Also, I'm concerned because, like, you only have your period once a month? So if you're going over all the time and she's saying that, then that means that she probably isn't and she's lying. Why is she lying? I think, my professional opinion, before we even read through this, you only want her for sex and you are, like, she knows that and so she's trying to get you to, like, gauge if that's the case. Like, she's testing you to see if you want to hang out with her outside of it, and you're failing miserably. But anyway, let's continue. She doesn't, or she'll tell me that she isn't yet, and then when I arrive, inform me that she just got it, which I think is a lie, but what do I know about periods, really? Point proven. Anyway, I told my older brother this, and he said that she only does it because I let her get away with it. I'm sorry? So the older yeah, okay. Typical Southern vibes. I asked what he wanted me to do about it since I'm already there and our relationship isn't just about sex. He suggested that I leave a few times and she'll eventually figure out it's best to just be honest with me. I recently took his advice much to the chagrin of my girlfriend and she ended up posting about it on social media. I'm now being lambasted by girls everywhere calling me a misogynistic pig and other less happy language. The post has semi-gone viral in my town and I'm wondering, am I the a-hole? Yeah, you are. Because you only want to be around your girlfriend if you're able to do that. He had an edit, which is... Okay, guys, prepare yourselves. This is good. Well, thanks, guys. It looks like I'm the a-hole since I supposedly act entitled to sex. Ignoring the fact that she's entitled to my attention, as anyone can figure out from my post, this marriage has made me realize that this relationship isn't going anywhere. See, my girlfriend is a lot like the users of Am I the A-hole, too wrapped up in gender stuff to ever see where I'm coming from. So I've decided to dump her since convincing you guys of anything is like pulling teeth and she's just gonna be the same. So well done, you freed a girl from another patriarchal dickhead. Congrats. She's crying as we speak, but that's what you wanted, so good day.
The impudence! The audacity! The unmitigated gall!
That is actually insane. That is actually, like... You guys know. You guys hear this too, right? Like, you heard that? No comments. No comments. That was just crazy. Insane. Insane take from this man. He is the blueprint for if men have one thing, it's the audacity. That's crazy. Okay, we have one more. My 29 male friend, 28 male, mistakenly thinks I led his friend, 24 female, on. How do I help him understand this misunderstanding? My friend is pissed at me right now and has been ignoring me. It all started about 2 months ago when I met his fiance's friend. She was absolutely gorgeous. A couple days after that, my friend brought up how she thought I was cute. I asked him why didn't he say anything earlier and he needs to put me on, and he told me no. He said he's not the type to do casual relationships and he knows I don't do serious relationships. Which was true. I just prefer to keep it casual, but at the time I thought, maybe I could give it a try after only doing casual hookups, and told him that actually I'm interested in a serious relationship now. He told me he didn't see that coming and asked if I was serious, and I said yes. So he then set something up. So we finally go on a couple dates, and after the 4th date, we finally hook up. She was not like other women I've dated and wanted to wait. I started realizing shortly after that relationships aren't for me. She started calling me love, and I was just not in the mood for a relationship. I'm sorry, I was not in the mood for a relationship. Like, it's fleeting. Like, I'm not in the mood. Like, oh, I wasn't in the mood to do laundry. Oh, I'm not in the mood to be in a relationship. Great. I'm gonna keep reading. I was about to go out with my friends, and the last text she sent me was, "Okay, love, have fun," with a little heart emoji. "Call me when you get home if you're not too tired." This is the one part where I was entirely wrong, because I just blocked her everywhere. A few days later, my friend figured it out, and he's pissed and tells me I used the girl, and he thinks I knew I didn't want a relationship. I'm trying to get him to understand that I genuinely just changed my mind, but he's ignoring me. I tried to post screenshots of our text so you can get the context, but it wouldn't let me. But I can find more specifics if necessary. Yeah, so you're telling me that you were into her, wanted a serious relationship, waited until the 4th date when, your words not mine, she finally hooked up with you, and then you suddenly after were like, actually relationships aren't for me? No. That is like, no, like you're lying to yourself to make yourself feel better, and you're trying to convince yourself, and that's insane. That's insane. So, that is it for this week's episode. I hope you guys feel better, got some rage out. Everybody deep breaths. I don't know, like, channeling my rage into this helps me feel better when I have a lot of emotions. And I have a lot of emotions today, so I felt like I needed to sit down and just read and say, hey, what the hell is going on? And that is what I did. So if you're listening or watching on a platform you can comment down below some crazy thing that someone has done to you that makes men have audacity, that like is just crazy. If you have them, I want to hear the stories, because like I said, reading them helps me feel better. I don't know, it's just like a way to channel my rage at someone. So I would love to hear it. But that is pretty much it. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, leave a rating or a review. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next Sunday with a new podcast episode. Bye, guys.